Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet. I'm Catherine.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're going to be visiting a place in Holland. And I think of that area, there's certain cliches that come to mind. You know, you got your coffee houses in Amsterdam.
The red light district.
Oh yeah, the red light district. The cheese, the windmills, that kind of stuff. And of course the tulips.
The tulip is the national flower of Holland. And the Dutch, they take their flowers very seriously. The largest flower garden in the world is in Holland, in a town called Lies. It's called the Keukenhof Garden.
Yeah, and it's inside an area called what they call the flower bulb region, which is in South Holland. About 75% of the world's flower bulb production comes from the Netherlands. And these bulbs begin to bloom every year about mid-March. And it's just beautiful fields of pink flowers or another field of red, and just a really beautiful area. And in the middle of all that is the Keukenhof.
And it's an 80-acre garden. It used to be owned way back in the 15th century by Countess Jacqueline of Bavaria.
Ah, sounds fabulous.
She used to use the land to grow her herbs and vegetables for her kitchen, and that's where the name Keukenhof comes from, because it means kitchen garden.
Yeah, and in 1850 the original design for the park was done by this father and son landscape architecture team from Haarlem, Holland, not the other Haarlem. And then in 1949 there was a group of growers and importers who came up with this idea of creating a sort of expo for the flower bulb industry so everybody could
see their flowers.
See their flowers, exactly. And it just kind of, as they would say, bloomed from that and became something that the general public wanted to see.
So since then, since about 1949, the local growers in the area plant about 7 million bulbs.
Wow. Every year?
Every year.
Oh my goodness.
Tulips, lilies, hyacinths. They smell so good. Daffodils and any other spring bulbs you can imagine. They plant them all by hand. The garden has 9 miles of walking paths. There's outdoor sculptures, fountains, bridges. There's, of course, a windmill.
We hope.
There is, there has to be a windmill in Holland.
Another cool thing is that you can actually buy the bulbs and they will send them to your home later.
Later, yes. So after everything's bloomed, they do dig the bulbs up and they'll mail them to you in the fall. So when it's time to plant the bulbs here, you get them just in time. Just
as we were saying, outside of the gardens is the bulb fields, and you can bike through them, drive through them, even sail through them. So that's something you might want to do after you've done the Keukenhof Gardens.
So we're just going to give you some tips on checking out the commercial bulb fields and the garden itself.
Yeah, the Keukenhof is about a half hour from South Amsterdam, and the easiest way to get there is a bus service called Connection, and they run buses from the airport and the major train stations, so you can take that, and they offer a combination ticket where you can purchase the bus fare and the admission to the Keukenhof Garden all at once.
And you can get those right on the Keukenhof's website, so it couldn't be easier.
That's for sure.
And as far as having been there, Catherine, one of my biggest tips would be to take your time. The garden is so huge, you're just going to want to have as much time as possible to see all the different displays and sculptures and taking as many pictures as possible. And they claim it's the most photographed place in the world. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but I can tell you from experience, I took probably 500 pictures. Go more than once if you can. I did. I went twice in a span of probably 5 days.
So it must have really been made an impression on you.
It did.
And also, if you happen to be going in April or later, you might also want to catch the Floriade, which is this horticulture expo that's only held once every 10 years. And it's being held in the Netherlands. It's about about a 2-hour drive away from the Keukenhof. But if you're really into horticulture, you'd probably want to go see it as well. And what this is an expo of the world's best flowers, vegetables, fruits, and plants. So you might want to check that out as well.
That's cool. And it's this year?
This year.
Wow.
So this would be if you don't get it this year, it'll be another 10 years before you can.
Wow. And my last tip is, if you really want to check out the commercial fields, you need to see them while they're at their peak bloom, and that's usually around mid-April. Those growers are more concerned with the bulbs, not necessarily the flowers, so they typically deadhead the flowers, meaning they cut the flowers off just after a few days. And so if you don't catch them while the flowers are on, you don't really get to experience that beautiful carpet of color. And I was there at the end of April, and I really missed the full experience of the of those huge, beautiful fields of color, and that was a really huge disappointment. So if you want to experience that, you really just need to time it perfectly, which is hard, but that's a key thing to keep in mind. So,
well, we hope you've enjoyed our visit to the Keukenhof. If you'd like more information, check out our blog, and also you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and we'll have all that information at the end of the podcast.
And we'll see you next time on The Coolest Stuff on the Planet.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.